75th season. 14 Grey Cups, countless Hall of Famers, many of them signing autographs prior to kickoff today between the Elks and Riders.
Awesome. Let's go, boys.
An eventful offseason for sure for both of these teams. The Riders go out and get themselves a new head coach in Corey Mace. The Edmonton Elks get a quarterback, a veteran quarterback, to try to help them take the next step.
Yeah, the last time we saw the guy they call Macbeth was 2 years ago when he was leading the Toronto Argonauts and hoisting the Grey Cup championship in November. Threw for over almost 5,000 yards that year. McLeod Bethel-Thompson makes his 48th start in the CFL tonight, leading the Elks. Trevor Harris led the Riders to a 3-2 start when in mid-July he was injured and lost for the season. Career completion percentage better than anybody.
Corey Mace, now the face of the organization, making his CFL head coaching debut with the Riders. No pressure. And speaking of pressure on the other side, Chris Jones, just 2-7 at home last year. Buzzing the tower here at Commonwealth. Another flyover, CF-18. It is hard. Goosebumps as we get set to kick things off at Commonwealth. These two teams met last year to open the season. Riders winning that one, and we are underway as this is kicked away and will be taken by Mario Alford at the 15. Alford, little high step, finds himself some room and eventually tripped up and taken down around the 38-yard line.
Why am I doing a kickoff?
Look at Trevor Harris, healthy and ready to go for the Riders.
Well, mid-July, July 15th was when Trevor Harris went down. It was a game against the Calgary Stampeders. They had the Riders off to a good start. He looked good. Now the question was, how would he recover from that injury at 38 years old? Played in the preseason, looked real good physically and mentally, has exercised the demons. Get back out there and look pretty good in that second preseason game.
He's about 116 yards away from 30,000 on his career through the air. Takes the first snap, fakes the handoff, looks down the field for a big shot early, and that one is knocked away as he was trying to find Sean Bain, who was over 1,100 yards last year. Let's take a look at this Riders offense.
Big offseason acquisition when they brought Jamarcus Hardrick over from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in free agency, CFL All-Star, and has 2 Grey Cup rings with the Bombers in 19 and 21. And also in free agency, Corey Mace was able to sign a guy he knows well in A.J. Ouellette, starting tailback in Toronto last year, now here with the Riders.
New offensive coordinator running the show as well. Mark Mueller brought in to work with Corey Mace, a completion over the middle, and that'll be shy of a first down. First catch of the season for Samuel Emelis. We talk a lot about Mace, but the impact of Mueller as well could be big for this organization.
Well, spent a whole bunch of time in a lot of different roles with the Calgary Stampeders, learning from Dave Dickinson and John Huffnagel. Of course, we know the connection with Ron Lancaster and Lancaster family, but yeah, that was interesting to see how he leads this Rider offense when he's the guy calling the shots.
We're going straight in.
Borzak sets the kick it away, lets it fly from about the 36, and that'll be taken on the far side by Flowers. Broke a couple of tackles and is taken down after a 47-yard kick. He stopped just shy of the 30. And our first look at McLeod Bethel-Thompson in the green and gold of Edmonton.
Yeah, 18 games in 22 with Toronto, completed 67% of his passes, and mentioned just shy of 5,000 yards and 23 touchdowns. Was replaced by Chad Kelly in the Grey Cup late in that one. Kelly rallied the Argos, but is a champion twice over. 17 as a backup and 2 years ago.
Led the USFL in passing last year and then found his way back to the Canadian Football League. Has a completion here early in the ball game, and they'll be taken outside the 20 as he goes to Javon Leake, who can return and get involved in this offense here for Edmonton.
Well, veteran crew now returning, and the guy that leads that group is Mark Corte. He's the guy who's going to pick up the blitzes, make sure he makes the calls up front and protects MBT. And in the receiving corps, boy, they got some weapons. They brought over Curly Gittins Jr. from the Argos and Eugene Lewis. Remember how he started the season against the Riders here? A
big bang down the sideline. How could I forget?
102-yarder.
MBT in the pocket. He'll look to the far side, Puts it in midfield. And that is Dylan Mitchell with his first catch of the campaign.
Real nice sort of corner route, but I love the body control from Dylan Mitchell as the ball arrives. He's just going to kind of turn to the outside, a real shallow corner route. See how he contorted his body back inside to make the catch.
4 touchdowns, just over 530 yards last year for Dylan Mitchell. Kyron Moore on the 6th game, injured on the final play of practice this week. So an opportunity for Dylan Mitchell to continue to build on the first couple of years of his CFL career. Now they'll hand it off to Brown. Brown broke a tackle, might have been a face mask there as we saw multiple flags fly, and did a pretty good job to find some positive yardage.
These two teams played each other 3 times last year.
Mask, Saskatchewan, number 11. We'll go up 15 yards from the other play. It's going to be first down for Edmonton.
Newcomer Malik Carney, newcomer to the Rider lineup. Got the face mask right there. Left hand on the mask right there, and that twists him around. Easy call for the officials. And a new set of downs for McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
Will work from the 31-yard line of the Riders. 4 receivers to the left from McLeod Bethel-Thompson, and he goes right over the middle down to the 25, gets about half of what they need to Hergy Mayala against this Riders defense.
Yeah, potential for a pretty good defense, especially in the front 7. You got Micah Johnson up there in his 59 career quarterback sacks. Anthony Lanier's no slouch either. And then Jameer Thurman leads a real good linebacking core. Newcomer is C.J. Avery, but C.J. Rivas, man, great season last year. And Roland Milligan was their best defensive back. He only played 4 games due to injury, but they were a good 4.
17 tackles, 2 interceptions in those games. Another completion, this one to Eugene Lewis for a first down. I'll say this, good offseason for the Riders, I thought. With the coaching change and some of the additions they made, and a good drive to start this game for Edmonton.
Really is, and this is what you're going to see from McLeod Bethel-Thompson, a guy who really stabilizes the quarterback room. Starts this game 4 for 4. Not many defenses, if any, that he hasn't seen before. Hard to really fool the veteran in McLeod Bethel-Thompson.
4 for 4 for 42 yards, and they are in the red zone. Back to Brown. Broke 1 tackle, managed to push ahead for a yard or 2, but a pretty good push there from the Riders.
Well, this is an area, sorry, Dustin, this is an area where the Saskatchewan defense has to improve. I mean, think back to last year, they were 7th against the run and giving up 123 yards a game, and you know that puts offenses in a real control position. They got balance in the offense, good run, so they got to get better stopping the run, and so I mentioned that front 7 with Micah Johnson and Anthony Lanier. It starts there.
Also 9th in the league in sacks last year with just 37. Empty backfield for MBT here. 4 options out to his wide side right as they work from the 10. Goes underneath, and a flag on the play. Back by the pocket. And is this drive going to stay alive? It's going to be a hold.
I was going to say Malik Carney looked like he got pulled down.
Holding Edmonton, number 62. The penalty is declined. It's going to be 3rd down.
Martez Ivy with the hold.
You know, when you play against defensively, when you play against McLeod Bethel-Thompson, I think teams from a couple of years ago will tell you there's the holding right in the middle of your screen, and they'll tell you got to be patient. You know, just try. You know he's going to rack up some yards. There's not many defenses he hasn't seen. So try to be patient, bend but don't break, give up field goals, not, if you're giving any points, give up field goals, not majors.
Another addition for Edmonton in the offseason. Boris Beatty comes in, the career high 94.9% last season with Toronto.
Good opening drive, though, for the Edmonton offense. Move the ball and it's a scoring range. Well, this team's got some pressure on them this year early. I mean, of all the teams in the league, You go 4-14 in back-to-back seasons. You got to start fast.
BD.
And the Hall of Famers in the house.
No pressure. All the eyes are on you. Good start for MBT and a big start for this man. And we'll have more on Corey Mace when we return to of the Riders. Brings a great resume after his time in Calgary and Toronto. For more on that, let's send it down to Tom Gazzola.
Yeah, thanks, Dusty. Corey Mace under the tutelage of guys like John Huffnagel, Ryan Dinwiddie in Toronto, and of course Dave Dickinson in Calgary. 3 great quarterbacks, offensive minds, and interesting for a guy like Mace, defensive guru, obviously. But he said that he paved the way, or those guys paved the way for him getting this head coaching gig with the Riders. And the other thing, too, talking to him, you realize really quickly he understands the honor and responsibility that comes with trying to lead the green and white back to glory here in the CFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sought-after position for many coaches, and he has an opportunity, considering where they're at coming out of last season, to really elevate them again.
No question, and he's trying to build that chemistry and allow the team in the locker room to take ownership. But I loved what happened through the interview process with Corey Mace, where there was a lot of people interviewed, and they did their due diligence. And when Corey Mace was on the phone with the team, he said, "Hey, I want this job. I'm going after this job. You guys got to give me this job." He wanted it badly.
Here's Harris, his quarterback. Finds his spot just inside the 50 to drop one in to Jarrett Stearns. Second completion of the day for Harris. 18 yards to Stearns.
Start out with the run, and then you can go after that into that second down passing game, and this is the accuracy you're going to see and why that completion percentage so good for Trevor Harris. Career, just over 70% of his passes completed because of accuracy like that throw.
That is the highest career percentage in the history of the Canadian Football League. 1st and 10 from the Edmonton 47. Nice tackle on the far side as A.J. Ouellette tried to get going, but he could not. Nick Anderson, a part of this Edmonton defense.
Yeah, let's take a look at the D, and a couple of rookies up front, rookies to the CFL anyway, and the veterans, Elliott Brown and his 2 sacks last year. Again, some young guys in the linebacking core, but Niles Morgan is not. He's a veteran who led the team in tackles a season ago, and Kai Gray was their nominee for outstanding rookie in his 2nd year. He and Darius Bratton, both 2nd-year players.
2nd and 10, 3 to the left, 3 to the right for Harris. Goes to the left, has a completion, and he's got a 1st down as he finds his running back. A.J. Ouellette takes him down inside the 30.
Well, A.J. Ouellette comes out of the backfield, and then he's just added in, and then will sit down. He's got to find that soft spot in the zone, find a little bit of a hole, sit in front. The deep routes will pull the linebackers off of him, and if Trevor Harris is on time, which he is, new set of downs.
Leon O'Neill Jr. with the tackle for Edmonton, but they'll work from the 28. Nice response here from Harris and the Riders. Back to Ouellette, and he is upended immediately on the play.
Cordell Jackson, the safety, down, play in the box, and he's just looking like he's playing the run here. Tight offensive set, receivers and a fullback in, so the safety comes down and plays the play.
Jackson, defensive rookie of the year in the indoor league last year, had 8 interceptions, preseason interception with Edmonton as well. He slides in there with Purifoy unable to go. Harris takes the snap, settles down in the pocket, looks downfield to the end zone. He's got it. Sean Bain with the touchdown. Riders go on top. What an answer.
Well, we talked about where the Riders needed to be better on defense, and on offense they had to be better up here, and that's exactly what you see in this play with Trevor Harris. A real strong pocket to stand in there and deliver a strike. He had the time to look off the coverage and go back over the middle to Sean Bain, and the Riders' first major of the 24 campaign.
He had 4 touchdowns last season, did Bain, to go along with 1,104 yards, one of the breakout stars in the Canadian Football League last year. His teammate, Emelis, another one of those guys. Brett Lawther out to tack on one more. And that is exactly what he does. The Riders, after falling behind 3-0, waste no time. 6 plays, 70 yards in just over 3 minutes into the hands of that man, Sean Bain, for the strike.
A nice tackle on the previous play where he came up and made the play, and then you get a mistake as he gets locked into the wide side of the field. Stop it there. They're playing a 3-deep zone, and Cordell Jackson, the free safety, is locked into the 3-receiver side and leaves Sean Bain Jr. wide open through the hash mark.
Probably one of the wrong guys to leave open, as Bain will make them pay. Now the return taken by Leach, and a great special teams tackle there by Strager. Edmonton will have the ball when we return. And that means they brought back everybody. It was been a phenomenal luncheon yesterday. Lots of autographs, lots of pictures, lots of good conversation. Had a great banquet on Thursday night that I had the honor of hosting as well. And then when you have 75 years and a lot of success, Glenn, there's a lot of people to talk to and reminisce with.
Left side of that quarterback picture was the quarterback room. Dunnigan, Damon Allen, Tracy Ham, all in the same quarterback room.
That's just unfair. Here's Brown, and he gets wrapped up and taken down by Deontay Williams and Malik Carney.
I mentioned 3 games these two teams played against each other, and Kevin Brown he was contained in the first 2, but then had the breakout game in that 3rd in September with 175 yards rushing.
That was one of the games that pushed him among the league leaders on the ground last season. 6.1 yards per carry last year for number 4 in the anniversary jersey there, standing next to his quarterback, Cloud Bethel Thompson. From the pocket, a little bit of time, dumps it off underneath. Mitchell trying to find some room, but he will not. Taken down at the 30. And that'll look to be a 2-and-out as Julian trots onto the field. Now, some pushing and shoving well after the play. Feisty in the first game of the season. I love it.
Well, first of all, watch the gang tackling. I think there's 12 Saskatchewan hats on the ball when McLeod Bethel Thompson just basically dumps it off there to Dylan Mitchell. And they're closing quickly, make sure everybody gets involved in that tackle, and Mitchell can't get to the first down marker. This was a bit of an issue the last couple of years for Saskatchewan after the whistle stuff. Corey May's trying to make sure that doesn't get started.
Julian gets it away. Towering kick. Alford takes it cleanly just inside the 30. And after a 51-yard kick, he finds some room on the near side of the field. Mario Alford with a flag in midfield. Sidestepping along the sideline. Little tiptoe will take him down inside the 50. We will sort out that flag when we come back. And more with that man when we return. Ricky Ray in the house at Commonwealth.
Allen, Tracy Ham, Warren Moon, Michael Riley, Matt Dunnigan. What's a conversation between those guys like?
Yeah, it's been great just sharing little stories, some behind-the-scenes stuff that, locker room talk and all those things. But we got to take a great picture in front of the Grey Cup with all of us together. And
Humble brag. One other nice touch that the Elks had this week was honoring Dwayne Mandrusiak. What does that mean to the organization, and how do you remember Dwayne?
Yeah, that was awesome. Getting to see Dwayne and his kids, up there. And, 49 years with this team, so he gave a great speech, shared some great memories of when he first got started and some of the players and coaches that he got to be around throughout his career, and it was just an awesome moment.
Ricky, really appreciate the time. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Great conversation there with Tom and Ricky. Just to bring you quickly back up to speed, there was a holding penalty against the Riders on the Alford return, so it backed him up. 2-yard carry for A.J. Ouellette on that first down that you saw. Leaves them 2nd and 8 here from the 21. Harris looks to his right, throws there immediately, and a nice tackle on the near sideline. And a bounce back for Cordell Jackson as he wraps up Jarrett Stearns.
60,000 plus for Ricky Ray, franchise leader on 2 teams.
How ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
That might be the most impressive of all of Ricky's stats.
Through the corner rope better than anybody that I've seen. Although, you know, there's some good ones here that could throw the corner rope. I mean, Warren Moon got it done too.
Forsett kicks it away from the 15 in the direction of Javon Leak. Leak trying to spring himself to the far side of the field, but there's a flag at the 40. Leak trying to get around Korsak. He will. He takes it down to the 20, all the way to the 10 and home, and the crowd will love it. But a flag at midfield could wipe out a 74-yard return by Leak. That's why they brought him.
They're in the return, illegal block. Edmonton, number 47. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to be first down for Edmonton.
DK Bonhomme.
Well, I'll say it early in the season. I've said it almost every year. If you're on the kick return team, punt return team, kickoff return team, and Javon Leak or Mario Alford,
either one of these guys,
either one are your returners. Do not clip, do not hold. They'll make somebody miss if your guy beats you, because these are 2 of the best in the game. There's the penalty.
Wipes a major off the board. They'll throw it over to Brown, and he takes it up the far side of the field, puts them in a second and manageable situation. I did say to you before the game, I said, I think we might have the 2 best returners in the CFL on the field in front of us, and they both had big returns. They've both been called back due to penalties. Edmonton last year led the league in special teams penalties. They had 49 of them. Second and 4. First down just outside the 40 as McLeod Bethel-Thompson cruising along, now 7 of 8 in the game as he finds Curly Gittins Jr. Last time they were together, 1,000-yard season for Curly.
Absolutely. That was back in 22, championship season. 5 touchdowns for Curly Gittins Jr. in that campaign, and that chemistry getting started early.
6 different players already with a catch in this ball game for Edmonton. Now they'll hand it back off right up the middle. And positive yardage of about 3 yards on first down.
And out to number 4, Kevin Brown. He drives for a couple.
See if they mix in one more play here at the end of the first quarter. Bethel-Thompson, 7 of 8, 65 yards. Settle in. I think we've got a good one here on a Saturday at Commonwealth. It is the Riders on the strength of a touchdown from Sean Bain Jr. leading on the road in their season opener, 7-3. Back this weekend here in Edmonton. One of them is Warren Moon, a Hall of Famer, 5-time Grey Cup champion, most outstanding player, Grey Cup MVP, and big honor for him, I'm sure. He's up in the booth with myself and Glenn Sooner. Warren, how you doing, man?
I am doing great, guys. How are you?
Really good.
Another
Great
season starting. You guys got to be excited about the season starting, huh?
Oh, I love working with this guy every weekend. And I'm looking forward to a lot of great football, of course, again in the league. Yeah.
I want to know who pays the most bills when you guys go on the road and eat dinner.
I'm still paying for dinner, and he's the young guy. How's that working?
You need to get on the seniority kick with this guy.
Now, Warren, how's the festival? Getting around all these great Hall of Famers, how's that been?
It has been unbelievable to come back and not only see the guys I played with, but other guys that I've known over the years, Damon Allen, Ricky Ray, Mike Riley, all the different quarterbacks that we've had in this organization. It's just amazing. We were counting the other day. It was like 21 Grey Cups between all the quarterbacks that were there. And then we added Wilkie because he wasn't at this one function that we were at. 28 Grey Cups when you include his numbers. So a lot of winning by all the guys that have been in this organization.
Let's take you back, and I wanted to ask you about Hugh Campbell, the architect of the back then the Eskimo way. Which, by the way, as a former Saskatchewan Roughrider, used to really make me mad to keep hearing about the Eskimo way all the time.
Yeah, it was a way, too, and it was a standard that we all had to live up to, and we understood that winning was all that was acceptable around here. So everybody kind of raised their level to that, and I think the whole organization was that way. It wasn't just the players, it was the coaching staff. We had a great coaching staff with, Cal Murphy and Don Matthews, and I mean, I can go on and on with all the great coaches that we had, and then even our equipment staff. We had a guy named Dwayne Mandrusiak, who was with us for 49 years. They're going to put him up on the Wall of Honor because he kept our uniforms and everything the way we needed to play. So everything had a purpose for when we went on the field to win.
I guess once you establish that, it's probably something maybe not extremely difficult to keep going, but to get something like that established, to get that winning culture established, that's got to not be an easy thing to do.
How about
right?
5 in a row?
Yeah. Hey.
Like I said, I was telling you guys earlier that when you get all the quarterbacks together, something like 28 Grey Cups.
Yeah.
That's 28 wins of guys who have been quarterback of these football teams over the last 40 years.
It's pretty impressive as Harris hands it off, and A.J. Ouellette just takes it right up the middle. Let's take a look at that 5-year dynasty we were talking about.
So Warren, is there, I mean, it kind of just asking a guy about your favorite Grey Cup is kind of like asking someone about their favorite kid.
Yeah.
So
you're right. You don't answer that question.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm not going to go really there. But was there one moment or memory in that? Maybe the first one.
No, there really was one, and I was asked that question the other night. It was when we beat Ottawa in Montreal. I think it was 1981 or 2 or something like that. But we were down 20-1 at halftime, and we really had to dig down deep as a team to come back and beat them that day, and we did. We came back with a late Cutler field goal to win the game, I think, in the last couple of minutes, and that was one that we were big favorites in, and we should have won that game a lot more handily, but we didn't. But we found a way to win somehow, and that's something we were able to do throughout that whole run. It didn't matter who we played against, how far we got behind. Our team knew how to win games and how to close.
Did a message even have to be sent during that game, or did you guys just know, right?
We just knew. And we had great leadership on that team. Coach Campbell was a guy of few words. He didn't have to say a whole lot either, but we knew what we had to get done in that second half.
Where were you at on the vocal leadership scale?
I'm more of a guy that takes guys one-on-one. I don't talk to the team as a whole. If I see a guy needs to be talked to, I'll talk to him. I was really good at measuring guys' personalities and who you could talk to in a soft tone, who you had to really get in his face and give him something. So that's something a quarterback has to be able to do for his football team.
Warren, Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. Canadian Football Hall of Fame. Still the only player that's ever been in both. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Papa. Bye.
Have a great season, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Warren Moon in the booth here at Commonwealth. Lions face off against the Argos. A fresh face for Toronto, a veteran there in Vernon Adams. Tune in at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on TSN. Great conversation with Mr. Moon. That was a lot of fun.
Wow, man, we could have just gone on for a while. I mean, so many things to talk about, but that 5 in a row and that team and Warren Moon going and having such a great career in the National Football League too, which such great respect for the talent in both leagues, but it has been a great couple of days here.
It really has. By the way, great logo too. We were talking about the 75th anniversary logo, but look at the different eras and the success that they've had. Obviously nothing since Mike Riley led 2015 Grey Cup victory, but
he's here, by the way.
He's here as well. Handoff to Leak, got them 6, so 2nd and 4. Bobbled, picked back up, he's in trouble though and taken down. DeMarcus Fields in his first CFL game, the beneficiary of the bobble from NBT.
Well, by alignment, defensively, Saskatchewan is trying to take up all the gaps and all the blocking assignments, so there should be a free guy, but it just looked like McLeod Bethel-Thompson lost the handle. He went to turn around on a straight run play. Lost the handle, scooped it up.
I'm not here to lay out excuses, but it has been raining quite a bit at Commonwealth so far. It looks like it's let up right now, actually, but Watch for things like that maybe with the weather continuing throughout the game. This is going to bounce at the 19. Alford has to hustle back. And it will roll all the way into the end zone, and he quickly takes a knee with just over 11 minutes remaining. Harris and his Riders lead 7-4 at Commonwealth in their season opener. Go to Purelator, tacklehunger.ca to donate. Here's a look at the remaining dates when Purelator Tackle Hunger will be coming to a city near you, and Cape Burness hopping on board, obviously, with TSN to partner with Purelator and continue a legacy program for sure. Hand off to Ouellette.
Yeah, I mentioned off the top, A.J. Ouellette, big offseason signing for Saskatchewan to, not only bring balance for Trevor Harris into the run game. You look at the 1,000-yard season last year in Toronto, but also just the attitude, just the attack mentality to attack the line of scrimmage, and the way he runs the ball really sets a tone for your offense, get your offensive line fired up. You can see he's packing some big guns.
Oh, yeah. I think he works out, Glenn.
Yeah, I think he's seen a gym or two.
Here's Harris over the middle. He drops it in at the 45. Excellent throw from Trevor, and he finds Schaefer Baker for the first time as the skies open up once again here at Commonwealth.
Well, you're going to see tremendous accuracy here from Trevor Harris. He has a pretty tight window to try and fit it in there. Three Edmonton defenders breaking on this football, and Trevor Harris has got to thread the needle. Nice move by Schaefer Baker over the middle, and he fits it in as the rain starts to come down.
Would be tough to get caught out in something like this. Oh. And there we go, a little bobble.
Yeah. Ball security, I mean, that's got to be a reminder in the huddle. And defensively, in those huddles, you're saying, hey, hit him, pull at the ball, tackle the football, because in these kind of conditions, it can happen. That's that you saw McLeod Bethel Thompson, and there Trevor Harris losing the handle. Whoa, whoa.
So both quarterbacks dealing with some issues here. It's weird because it absolutely pours, and then right now it's kind of let up. Expected to continue, I think, through most of this ball game. 2nd and 12, 2-yard loss. They work from the Edmonton 43. Harris escapes the pocket on the run to the right, throws it down the field, hustling back, trying to get there was Jared Stearns, but he could not. There is a flag though at the 40 in the area where Harris escaped the pocket.
In the holding area at the line of scrimmage. Second down.
We have a player misconduct foul. Oh. Saskatchewan, number 61. We're going to go back 15 yards from the end of the play. It's going to be 3rd down.
24-year-old out of Louisville.
Yeah, rookie left tackle. Trying to give his side of the story. Right in that group, you're going to see that late hit. Well after the play was over.
Easy call for the officials. Korsak kicks it away. That'll bounce and end up being picked up at about the 23. 36-yard kick. McLeod Bethel Thompson looking to get the offense on track. 21 and 2022. Now trying to help this Edmonton franchise get on track. Goes to his running back, Brown. Brown wrapped up, taken down. C.J. Rivas gets some help from Jameer Thurman. And a short pickup for Brown.
Big year for C.J. Rivas last year. You know, Larry Dean maybe led that group. He's now on the coaching staff with Saskatchewan, but C.J. Rivas just an all-star season. And his only interception of the year against Edmonton.
Second on the team in tackles last year behind Larry, as Glenn had mentioned. They moved him around last year as well. Spent some time at safety. MBT backpedaling, in trouble, throws it near side. Was that picked off? No, they'll say incomplete. It was Milligan, who had a couple of thefts in his 4 games that he played last year.
Mentioned Micah Johnson in the middle of that defensive line for Saskatchewan. I went back and looked, 144 career games. Look at the power move, just straight bull rush from Micah Johnson, forcing Corte back on his heels. I started to look at 144 games, say average of 40 plays per game on defense.
Well, you did the math on this?
That's 5,760 double teams that Micah Johnson has had to fight through.
Julian stands and awaits the snap. Mario Alford lurking, pacing back inside his own 30. Short kick here. And that one will bounce at the 40. Alford just decides to avoid some damage and step out of bounds. We chatted with Ricky Ray earlier. Here's what Trevor Harris had to say about Ricky Ray.
Ricky's not a vocal guy. You know, you're never going to just get these pearls of wisdom from Ricky. I remember before my first ever start, Scott said, make sure you ask Ricky, he'll give you some pearls of wisdom before the game. It's okay. And so I sat next to Rick. I said, hey, you got any advice for me before the game? I know you played a long time, and you know you're one of the best to ever do it. And he goes, I played for Toronto at the time. We were wearing blue jerseys. He said, throw it to the guys in the blue. I was like, that's it?
Hey, whatever works.
That is so Ricky Ray. Just throw it to the guys with the blue shirts. That's hilarious.
Harris connects with a guy wearing white on the far side. That's Jareth Stearns, and he's been involved in this offense early.
Of course, they were teammates at the beginning of the journey for Trevor Harris in Toronto. It's a nice throw there from Harris. We've seen some real accurate throws, and that's what Trevor Harris is. I mean, he's going to throw from the pocket most of the time, but has the footwork to be able to negotiate the pocket if needed to create a throwing lane. With great accuracy and recognition. Both these quarterbacks very similar in that regard.
From the Rider 54, Harris with 3 out to his left. Looks to his right. Gets it away to his right. That's up in the air. Picked off, but a flag. Niles Morgan took it away, and he'll run it back onto the Riders' side of the field. But a flag instantly, and that looks like it's got pass interference written all over it.
Sean Bain right now is indicating he's trying to impersonate the referee and indicating that it's pass interference.
Defensive pass interference. Edmonton, number 5. It's going to be first down for Saskatchewan at the spot of the foul.
Yard of the line of scrimmage. You can jam inside of 5, but he climbs over Schaefer Baker, and I think it was the right hand pulling the shoulder pad and not allowing him to jump that he gets called. The crowd here doesn't like it.
It's going to lead to a gain of 25 yards. Ball will be spotted at the Edmonton 36. They'll have to bear down defensively now. 1st and 10. Harris. And eventually is tackled around the 30 for a pickup of close to 6 and a flag right at the end of the play.
Well, this has been building. You know, you've seen pushing and shoving after the whistle from both teams over the last 5 or 6 minutes this second quarter. And the officials have had enough of it.
They met in the first game of the season last year. Riders won it. Some dramatics in the 4th quarter of that one. Riders would start 3-1 or 3-2 when Harris got hurt.
Yeah.
And Edmonton lost 9 in a row. That's how they started the season. Saskatchewan ended the season by dropping 7 in a row. So interesting campaigns, albeit in different fashions. Logan Ferland is the guilty party here.
We have a rough play disqualification.
Ooh.
Saskatchewan, number 63. It's a 25-yard penalty applied from the end of the play, and it's going to be second down.
You'll see the right hook coming. Leon O'Neill, rookie linebacker, does exactly what he should do, shows great discipline not to retaliate on that play, on that punch. And Logan Ferland's headed to the showers.
A veteran guy will regret that decision. Sevier will come into the game. A veteran in his own right, 28 years old.
Well, you could feel this building.
Yeah.
I mean, both teams were pushing and shoving, a little bit extra one after the whistle, and then it was after the whistle plus a few seconds, and then it escalated to a right hook, and that's it. And the head coach does not like that. I mean, this is I mentioned off the top, this is an issue, or has been over the last couple of years. Now, different coaching staff, different approach, and he's trying to set the tone early. It's not going to be acceptable.
Sevier comes in, slide into that right guard position for Ferland, which is where he had all of his starts last season.
Well, that's a 6-year veteran. I mean, that's a luxury to have free agent Ryan Sevier to move into that spot, but it makes him now, that's it. Nobody else. Offensive lineman dressed, yeah.
And it's 2nd and 29. Does Harris have a big chunk in him here? 4-man pressure. Harris under trouble. Gets away, but not a second time. He'll be wrapped up and taken down by Broderick. Second overall pick in 2023 gets home.
Yeah, I think when you're the Riders in that situation and you've taken that penalty and you're back in second and an acre or two, when you're digging a hole, sometimes the best thing you can do is just stop digging.
First sack of the career of Broderick. Good special teams tackle just outside the 22. Nowhere for Malik Flowers to go on that play as Erdman Reed gets downfield in a hurry. Don't miss the return of the global phenomenon critics call thrilling and endlessly captivating, HBO's House of the Dragon. New season streams June 16th only on Crave. Can't wait. Looking forward to that season.
I think the Edmonton Elks and their entire staff is looking forward to this season.
You have to be pretty excited. That one off the hands of the intended target was Malik Flowers, who just handled that last return for the team, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. MBT's now 8 of 12 for 71 yards.
Well, the key now for the Elks is Chris Jones has had some time now to bring in the athletes he wants, and he's had good athletes over the last couple of years, good players, good football players. Now the key is to bring them all together. That's where McLeod Bethel-Thompson and his leadership can really help. Bring them all together and create a great team.
2nd and 10 from their own 22. MBT stays in the pocket, goes down the field, and it falls incomplete. He was looking for Curly Gittens Jr. Got a hand on it, but could not haul it in.
Sure, if it was Jaden Dalkey that looked like one of the Rider defensive backs flashed in front of that, maybe distracted the throw just enough. No, it wasn't Dalkey. He came from the other side and continued through with the hit. Looks like it was C.J. Avery, the linebacker.
Big hit by Dalkey, who I believe has over 100 friends and family in attendance at the game this afternoon.
University of Alberta, sure.
Local product. Not very often you get a bunch of Edmontonians to put on Riders jerseys and come to Commonwealth, but I'd assume that's the situation today. Great kick, backing Alford all the way back. Has to take it at the 20. Booming punt from Julian, 69-yarder. Now Alford with flags on the play. He's going to take it down to the 40. Will he be caught? Does not look like it. Mario Alford all the way to the house and the return of the punts. 91 yards if it stands, but multiple flags back in midfield.
Yeah, great to see a huge punt, but when you have a huge punt, you can outkick your coverage.
This would be the second return touchdown called back on a penalty today. One both ways.
Gotta play clean.
Alford is not happy.
You a fucking dog.
Special teams
There are
penalties.
2 penalties against Saskatchewan. The first one is holding while the ball is in the air, number 32. That's the penalty that's going to be applied. We'll go back 10 yards from where the ball was caught. The second penalty is an illegal block against 33. That one is declined. It's going to be first down for Saskatchewan.
These are big-time points, both ways being taken off the board in this ballgame.
Well, there's one of them. That's the one that won't be applied, but that's clearly a block right at the point of attack with 2 hands in the middle of the back, and then a holding down the field. And again, you know, a big deep kick like that, it's tough for the cover team to catch up to the football, and that gives Mario Alford tons of room to get started. You get that guy started and look out. You can see the frustration in his face. He's going to talk to that return team at halftime and say, guys, if you see his name tag, do not touch him. That's the rule.
Well, after the penalty, this ball is placed on the Saskatchewan 10. Just over 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Riders on top, 7-4. Harris hit hard, taken down. Robert Kondichi in his first game with the Elks.
Well, and this will be Corey Mays just reminding Logan Furlan of what happens when you get a penalty that throws you out of the football game. Ryan Sevier has to come in. He's cold off the bench. He's going up against Kim Dichi. And you saw what happened.
Kim Dichi, big addition to that defensive line in the offseason for Chris Jones, paying early dividends.
These guys here in the panel, they just can't believe it. They're all at each other, trying to figure out if it was a good call or a bad call. What do you think, guys?
We'll talk about it at half.
Yeah. We'll talk about it at half. We even brought Jermaine Franklin
here.
Special guest host, Lapo. A lot to talk about. We needed extra people.
Officiating discussion on the way at halftime. There's the handoff. Finally, maybe something to work with. A.J. Ouellette pushing ahead. It was 2nd and 16. He got a lot of it back, but it'll still bring up third down here with 2:45 on the clock in the second quarter.
Well, room to kick it, but this is where your returners feel like it's downhill.
Mark Mueller taking over here at offensive coordinator for the Riders, but even put with some of these penalties, that last sack, number of 2nd and long situations. Now they have to kick this away from their own 5-yard line. And that'll be taken cleanly by Flowers. There's a flag as he's taken down just inside his own 50 after a 51-yard kick from Adam Korshak.
Well, both coaches got to go in.
Return, illegal block, Edmonton with 47. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to be first down for Edmonton.
Yeah, both these coaches got to go in at halftime and talk to their special team return teams. Just to remind them of how devastating a penalty is on a punt return. talked about the skill of Javon Leake for Edmonton or Mario Alford for Saskatchewan, but even aside from that, if you just catch it, no penalty, and don't move from there, you get, you know, way better field position.
Edmonton had 1,500 yards in penalties last year, highest number in the league. Bethel Thompson stays in the pocket this time, near side, looking for Mitchell, who turns and gets it. Back shoulder catch from Dylan Mitchell, and that moves the ball into the Riders' side of the field.
Well, nice acting by Dylan Mitchell. The accuracy of the throw is there from MBT. He puts it on that back shoulder, and then you just got to sell it. Coverage down the field. Looked like it was DeMarcus Fields, and he doesn't turn in time. Turns to look for that deep ball instead of the throw behind.
21-yard catch for Dylan Mitchell. Team high 49 in the game so far. Now they'll dump it off to Brown. Brown, where's he going to go? Just decides to lower the shoulder. Gets wrapped up and taken down by Roland Milligan, but picks up 5 yards on the play.
Both these offenses have had trouble running the ball between the tackles, and this is the sort of progression for that. If you want to keep your tailback involved, it's an extended run, really, just dumping the ball out of the flat. Little screens either side. Both Kevin Brown and A.J. Ouellette try and get them going in space.
And Brown has more yards through the air today than he does on the ground. 2nd and 5 from the Riders 45. MBT finds Lewis. Nice move. Takes it down to the 35 for a first down. Edmonton as they try to march here in the final moments of the first half.
Well, plenty of time. I mean, they can run their offense. They're going to get back and huddle up. We got plenty of time just to run the normal offense, and within 10 yards of running your red zone offense. Special set of plays, almost a separate playbook for inside the 20.
Bethel Thompson now up to 107 yards through the air in his first half as the Elks quarterback turns, hands it off to Brown. Brown trying to kick it to the outside, and he will. Takes it down inside the 25 before he's popped out of bounds. Biggest running play of the ball game for Edmonton.
That's another jab on first down.
It's like Malik Carney here is going to try to take an inside move and does it at the wrong time. Carney goes upfield, he goes inside, and he gets caught trying to take that inside pass rush move with a run play going right around the edge.
Knocking on the door of the red zone with just over a minute remaining, looking towards the end zone, and they've got it. Hergy Mayala, one of the new guys brought in the offseason, has his first touchdown as a member of the Edmonton Elks. McLeod Bethel Thompson finds him in stride.
Stands in there and throws a strike. Anthony Lanier trying to get in his vision with a bull rush down the middle, but it doesn't bother the veteran McLeod Bethel Thompson. Throws it around that arm and hits Mayala for the TD.
Evenly played first half of football here. Both quarterbacks relatively accurate so far. Neither team really able to establish the running game. And both teams with a return touchdown called back. And Edmonton on top here, 11-7.
Nice combination routes. It's going to be Mayala here, and little inside route to try and distract coverage from that deep middle. Mayala just trying to cross the face of the deep player. Roland Milligan has to stay on the outside and play both the wide out and that slot back position, and Mayala on the inside move. Really wrong either way, because if he sinks down inside on Mayala, McLeod Bethel Thompson throws it down the rail.
From an offensive perspective, eerily similar look to the Sean Bain touchdown on the other side. Capped off a 5-play, 71-yard drive that took just a minute and 18 seconds. MBT now 12 of 17 for 121 and a touchdown. Trevor Harris 8 of 11 for 116 and a touchdown. This will be booted away one more time. Mario Alford waiting for it, takes it at the 5. Alford back to the 20, finds a little bit of space. Nice return, takes it outside the 40-yard line. And with 59 seconds on the clock, good field position here for Trevor Harris.
And you go. Yeah, you're full on go here. Try to at least get into field goal range if you're Trevor Harris. A minute in Canadian football? Come on, that's a lifetime.
Both teams could still score.
Exactly.
Lothar's career high, 57 is career long. Hit one from 56 last year. They start on their own 41. A.J. Ouellette slides in, left of his quarterback. Harris looks to his left, throws that way immediately. Schaefer Baker, get off of me, he says as he pushes ahead and gets out of bounds. Kean Schaefer Baker, a wise decision for the Riders.
Yeah, he's thinking about the time clock, and while he wants to come back and pick up an extra 4 or 5, heads up play just to fight that tackle off and then get yourself right out of bounds.
Left Darius Bratton laying behind him as he pushed ahead. Finished off an 8-yard play up to the Rider 49. 3 options to the wide side right here for Harris. Looks to his left. Now over the middle. And he's got Jarrett Stearns again. First down, Saskatchewan.
Boy, that's the danger area. That's where the linebackers hang out. Stearns gets to protect himself from those hits from the linebackers because of where Trevor Harris threw that football. Kept it low into the belly.
Stearns wasn't afraid to go into those areas last year
either. Not at all.
4 options to the left. This time it's batted down. Niles Morgan, who had an interception taken away to a penalty earlier, wants another crack at that one.
Show blitz, so he's trying to make Trevor Harris think that he's going to go after him and come on a blitz. And what does he do? Shows blitz, drops out, hangs there, and he almost threw it right to him.
Watched it all the way into his right hand there.
There's Hall of Famers all over the place.
Everybody, the booths get crowded. Harris near side, back to Stearns again, and he runs underneath this one for a first down, and the Riders creeping inside field goal range for Brett Lowther.
Inbounds, coach, he's inbound.
And basically strong side linebacker Leon O'Neill in one-on-one trying to get up there and press coverage.
Harris moving quickly again, just 3-man pressure. Gets it to Emelis. Emelis quickly grabs it, goes down just inside the 35.
Saskatchewan call the timeout.
Yeah, now you got to call your timeout. The tackle inside didn't get out of bounds. That's okay if you still have a timeout, and Corey Mace does. So call the timeout. Time for maybe 2-3 plays if you're real efficient. But I would say the Riders are now, what, maybe 10 yards away from field goal range.
Farhan and the boys ready to roll, coming up at the half. From here, we're looking at 40-41 yarder, right? So certainly something that they can attempt. Like you said, if you work quickly, time for 3, maybe.
Maybe take a shot.
At least 2. 2nd and 4 for Harris here. Got to get the first down. And that one intercepted along the near sideline. No, they will wave it off. Darius Bratton slid over, and now a discussion from the officials. Edmonton obviously saying he had it.
Well, it looked like to me Keon Schaefer Baker on his break here to get to the out stumbles or doesn't quite make this a smooth cut. You see, he has to put the left hand down, and now he's not where he needs to be. Trevor Harris throwing it to a spot. Now, is it a catch or not? That official had a pretty good look at it. Whether you're receiver or DB, you can't use the turf to assist you on the catch. So you have to have your hands or arms underneath it.
The ruling on the field is an interception by Edmonton. First down, Edmonton. Because it's a turnover, the play's under automatic review by the command center.
All right, so the turnover will lead to the automatic review from the command center.
Well, Darius Bratton gets his first pick early in this campaign.
He had one last year.
It was later in the season, but this is an athletic play to go over there and catch it and get. He must have that right hand. You see the official right there. I mean, he's on the spot, so he's got the best view in the house to make the determination as to whether or not that was a catch. Command center automatically looks at it because it's a turnover, potential turnover. And I'm not sure I've seen a more excited reaction from Chris Jones on much of anything before.
I don't know if Chris Jones has smiled in the last 2 years, so feeling pretty good about where his team is at right now, even though it's just an 11-7 lead, but still at least a good attempt at 3 points taken off the board here.
Exactly. That took points off the board, that play.
Take a look inside the CFL Command Center where they have our announcement ready. Let's head down the field and get the call.
Upon further review, the ruling on the field stands. It's first down for Edmonton.
First interception of the season thrown by Trevor Harris.
Well, Trevor Harris is a timing passer. I mean, he's throwing to the spot, and Schaefer Baker on that, you saw him stumble, and that was a split second. Allowed Bratton to get there, and Schaefer Baker couldn't get to the spot he needed to be in.
What an interesting first half of football. No shortage of things to discuss for Farhan and the panel. A couple of great returns called back. Both quarterbacks certainly having some moments. The Riders get Sean Bain into the end zone. The Elks reply with Herji Mayala, who was brought in after a couple of years in Calgary and a couple of years with Montreal. Had just 7 catches all of last season, but I know there was a preseason buzz around Mayala, and looks like he might fit in. There he is with his first touchdown thrown by McLeod Bethel-Thompson since joining Edmonton as well. Targets to Emlis. Steady diet of Jareth Stearns and Schaefer Baker so far for Trevor Harris, who's 12 of 17 for 155 yards, touchdown, and an interception. But boy, is it good to just see Trevor healthy and back on the field here for the Riders. Edmonton will get the ball to start the third quarter. Rain continuing to pour down here at Commonwealth, as this will be taken by Leak. Tried to stay on his feet, he does, then he takes a mean pop just shy of the 35. And McLeod Bethel-Thompson will go to work here in the third quarter.
Well, they won the toss and deferred, and that's the reason you do that, is to get the ball to start with in the second quarter, try to go down, score a major, and start to pull away. You know, I would suggest that we'd see more points on the board in that first half if we didn't see as many penalties, especially in the return game. Returners were trying to cut the field in half for these quarterbacks, and penalties kept pushing them back.
Edmonton will start on their own 34. But it looked as though they had an extra body.
Edmonton had 13 players in the formation. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
Malik Flowers, who was out there on the return team, was not aware that he had to head to the sideline, couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, and people wondering how that might happen is that there's different personnel groups. So sometimes Malik Flowers will be out there with the offense. Sometimes he won't be, depending on the personnel group.
First and 15, they'll get it to Leak. And he gets taken down for a loss on the play. Deontay Williams read it well and tackled well, took him down.
We've seen Malik Carney, you know, make some decisions that put him in a bind at times in the first half. I think he plays this play very well, and it causes a problem for Javon Leak. He takes on that block and keeps it wide. And then a little support from the secondary, they're allowed to step up and make the tackle. But without that play by Carney to stretch it out a little bit, I've been a comeback lane.
2nd and 19. Try to set something up for Brown, and boy, that's tracked down quickly from behind. Kevin Brown had no time to make a play on that one.
Just kind of like a kick in the solar plexus when you start the second half of the second on offense and take a penalty before you snap the ball.
So 3rd and 12, and Julian will get called into work again. Mario Alford stalks near the 20-yard line of the Riders in the distance on your screen.
Get in there, Leon! Get in there, Leon!
Julian gets it away. Alford slides to his right. And now trying to find some space. Not going to happen. He's taken down heavily just outside the 20 by Leon O'Neill Jr.
It's the 102nd start for Trevor Harris in his CFL career, and he just, in that first half, has now gone over 30,000 yards passing. And again, I just very impressive. Back looking at all the legends that are here, the Damon Allen and Warren Moon and all that. I want to think that around 56% back then was really good. We used to talk about quarterbacks. They were, 55 to 60.
This guy completes 55% of his passes.
Yeah, it was good. And now it's 70 is kind of the mark.
Harris gives it to Ouellette. Broke a tackle, a couple of yards on the far side of the field before he was tripped up in the play by Bynum.
Tough running for both these backs. I mean, both are all-star caliber backs for both teams. And Ouellette hard slugging in the first half.
He had 9 carries now and just 22 yards.
But tailbacks love the fourth quarter. They keep pounding, then they get one. And in the fourth quarter, when the defense is a little bit more tired, that's when they really can make it happen.
2nd and 8. Harris gets it away just in time, and he's got Jarrett Stearns again. 6th catch of the ball game for 83.
Trips to that side of the field. Stearns is the inside receiver. He's the 3rd guy. Gets a running start. So if you're a young DB, rookie DB, or linebacker, you're trying to still get used to, even after a preseason of a couple of games, you're still getting used to the waggle and all receivers allowed to be in motion.
1st and 10. Rider 39 is where they'll work. Back to Ouellette again, and he is taken down. Leon O'Neill Jr., who had that special teams tackle on Mario Alford, is there to make the play again. 1st-year man out of Texas A&M.
Well, a guy that at the Senior Bowl, was one of the top defensive backs. So he comes to the CFL, often that's what happens. Your defensive back is strong safety or free safety down south. You come up and play linebacker up here.
Loss of 3 on the play.
Nice plays.
2nd and 13, 3 to the left, 3 to the right, 4-man pressure. Harris gets it away, and that one is bubbled. Was looking for Bain, went down to get it, and he could not corral it. And that'll bring up 3rd down in a punting situation for Corsac and the Riders.
Trevor Harris had to throw this around the coverage. Bain is just going to clear past Kai Gray there, and I think he probably lost sight of the football as it went past Gray. Tried to go down and get it and couldn't hang on.
Zach gets it away.
One bounce and go.
Picked up by Leak on the near side. And he'll bully his way back after a 46-yard kick. Edmonton with the lead and the ball, including the Grey Cup today. Halftime ceremony here with a number of legends. Gizmo among them. Ricky Ray in the house. Michael Riley as well. And just a great presentation here, I thought, at halftime.
Oh, outstanding. And to see
Well, like when Warren Moon was saying, you know, when we added up the Grey Cups, all those guys' names on that trophy. But is it just me, or when you look at a shot of Henry Gizmo Williams, you just have to smile? You just have to smile.
He's usually smiling back at you.
Yeah. I wasn't smiling playing against him.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Giddens with the catch, but hey, speaking of Giz, let's flash it back. 87, Grey Cup, can't miss a field goal.
Than anybody else in the history of the game. And Dwayne Mandrusiak, who was here on Thursday, equipment manager all those years, over 50 years in Edmonton, I swear he called it gizmo grass.
Good handle for it.
Well, he would manage. It was natural grass at that time. It was really the only field in the CFL with natural grass, and I swear he would cut it, and he and Gizmo would get together so that only Gizmo was fast.
It's the only way.
It's the only way that he could have been that fast all the time.
He was joking at the banquet, the gala on Thursday, saying that he always give Damon Allen a 14-0 lead before he'd even get on the field.
Yeah, that was his. Well, it's like a personnel issue. Third and 4, the Elks left the offense out there.
Their punter, Jake Julian, is waiting to go, and now they will send out the punt team. But the Riders using that timeout. That'll blow through what they've got. With still a quarter and a half remaining here in the ball game. Alford, excellent year again last season. Back in 2022, had the punt return, had the kick return, had the missed field goal return. 3 punt returns last year, 2 of them in the same game. Had one called back here earlier today as Julian gets set to kick it away and they'll let that.
Time count violation.
Yeah.
Edmonton number 9.
So
the 5-yard penalty. It's still going to be third down.
So through all of that, they leave their offense out, Edmonton. That surprises Saskatchewan. They have a personnel issue, so they have to burn the timeout. And then Edmonton realizes that they're a man short. I'm getting this feeling that it's week 1.
It's the first game of the season here, isn't it?
A couple guys on the sideline daydreaming, not, oh, it's punt team.
My turn to play.
I got to get out there.
Julian ready to let it go this time. 8.5 to play here in the third quarter. That one just away. Almost blocks. Alford slides to his left. Gets it and now looks for space on the far side of the field. Turns it up. Take it down at the 20. Roderick makes the play on special teams for Edmonton.
The best there ever was, and just maybe the best of all time. I mean, just the guy that didn't hit you. He was a striker. Watch this. I mean, come on. Turn him around and headed him back the other way. Dan Kepley. Got a chance to spend some time when Dan was doing some broadcasting. And, yeah, I got to spend some time with him. And all you have to do is be around him for a few minutes to understand how much he believes in team, how much that he would have the teammates back and they would have his. And when I asked Warren Moon about the back then Eskimo way.
Yeah. Offside, Edmonton number 95. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still going to be first down.
That's really what it's all about. That all these guys from different places in the country or in other countries all come together in a locker room, and if you can find that where you believe in each other and you have each other's back, magic happens.
Harris on the far side. It's funny you bring that up because just to swing it on the Rider side here for a second, when we were chatting with their new head coach earlier in the week, I said, what do you think the strength is of your team? And he says, you know what I'm probably happiest with right now is how we've come together as a team. And for him to say that early in this season, I think Riders fans have to be pretty excited.
Absolutely. A good start. You know, that's maybe what's been missing the last few years. And it's not blaming anybody for it. It's just a matter of leaving each other, have each other's back, go out there and battle.
2nd and 4 for Harris. And that one laid out for and hauled in. Emelis with a flag laying just outside of the Riders' 40. 3rd catch of the game for Emelis, who had 70 of them last year.
How about some of those? And some of them were dramatic fashion. I mean,
human highlight reel.
Absolutely.
We have a spear, Edmonton, number 42. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Led with the crown of his helmet.
Yeah. Nick Anderson. I was freaking out for a second because they announced 42. And there's no 42 on the roster. Nick Anderson, 48.
Maybe they saw the picture of Dan Kepley.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
it's in the mindset
42.
right now. 1st and 10 for the Riders. From their own 51. Harris, quick feet in the pocket. Finds a man over the middle. It's Bain. And a decent chunk on first down. It'll be 2nd and a long 2.
Well, this is what you wanted to see, is to get Sean Bain a little bit more involved up there in that short side wideout. Just sits down. He doesn't see the next closest coverage is inside of the linebackers, so just sit down, gear it down there, and your quarterback will find you.
Need a couple more for a first down, does Harris. 6:20 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. He's got the 2 yards and a little bit more. This time back to Emelis. So Bain and Emelis, their 2 big weapons from last season, starting to get involved here, and that's good news for the Riders offense.
It is. You know, I don't think he abandoned the running game just yet, but right now Ouellette's job is to protect for Trevor Harris, make sure that he keeps that defensive front 4 off of him. That was a quick game when they only needed 2nd and a couple.
Up to the 47. Harris closing in on 200 passing yards. This time they'll hand it off when Ouellette busts through the line. And almost 5 yards on the play.
Up with a little bit of a limp.
Yeah, it looks like he's feeling it a little bit there, eh?
Shake it off.
End up giving him 4. 2nd and 6. Riders won here in Edmonton last year, 17-13 in the opener. And that one was almost picked by Cordell Jackson, who I mentioned earlier had 8 interceptions in the indoor league last year. Tried to get one here.
I used to love these calls. This is for a free safety. This is called like a robber. So you're usually going to play back in the deep middle or one of the deep coverages. And one of the rules for the safety is often be as deep as the deepest receiver and help your fellow defensive backs. But every now and then you get a call on a robber where you can jump an intermediate route like that. Almost had himself a pick.
This punt is hammered all the way down and through the end zone. Makes it a 3-point ball game. Cordell Jackson, first CFL start qualifying. We're talking hundreds and thousands of seconds. And they ended up tying in qualifying, so it should be a great race tomorrow on TSN. Todd Bethel-Thompson quickly connects, and a few extra yards after the catch for Curly Gittins Jr.
Both these quarterbacks are working this short game and getting the ball out quickly. Takes away the rush, little play action fake to Brown there, and then set up a second and shorter medium. The progression or the next step here is the double moves, but you need time to throw that.
Dakota Prukop called into action first time. Signed recently by Edmonton. Perfect for this role. This is what he does, right? Prukop, 2nd and 1. Trying to flare him out to the left. And that will work as he picks up the first down and a little bit more for good measure.
Yeah, that's great short yardage player, and of course the backup quarterback here in Edmonton is Trey Ford, who last year really put on a show. Was 4-6 as a starter, but after an 0-9 start for Edmonton with Taylor Cornelius, Trey Ford really, I've said it on radio a couple times, probably saved some jobs in the organization.
That's a fair statement. Well, Thompson down the field, big connection, just inside the 30, down to the 10, trying to push ahead with Gino Lewis. Milligan is there to stop him, but the Elks are in business.
I knew he wouldn't be quiet for long. One of the best receivers in the Canadian Football League. You can make the argument he's the best, and you see how he stems that route. He comes across like he's going to run right across the middle, almost like a dig route, and then he stems it straight through the seam, and the timing right on the money from McLeod Bethel-Thompson, who gives him the thumbs up on that catch.
52 yards to Gino Lewis from McLeod Bethel-Thompson. And now Edmonton inside the 5. Shotgun for MBT. Brown stands in behind him. They'll give it to Brown right up the middle, trying to lunge in. And he stops just short of Markham at the 1.
And they are bringing in short yardage now. See if he broke the plane. Nope.
Milligan with the tackle. He's made an immediate impact, healthy here to start the season defensively for the Riders.
Even though Kevin Brown got inches away from the goal line, they put it back on the 1-yard line.
Prukop. This is where he earns his paycheck. Dakota Prukop into the game. 2nd and goal from the 1, trying to push ahead. Flags on the play. Was Prukop there?
90% of the time, this flag is against the defense, although there are a few Saskatchewan
Roughriders.
procedure
against Edmonton.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, boy.
The left guard left early.
The 10%.
It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still going to be 2nd down.
See down the line, you'll see early movement from this side of the line. See the hand comes up just before the snap of the ball. Once you put, it's called the 3-point stance because you're 2 feet and your hand in the grass. And sometimes it's 4. And when you go 4-point, neither of those hands can move before the snap of the ball, and you see the early movement.
All right, so 2nd and goal from the 6. On the run, out to the right, McLeod Bethel-Thompson guns one in there, touchdown! It's Hergy Mayala again! Give him a pair! The Elks go on top, 17-8.
Well, a great throw in the drive to Eugene Lewis, gets him down on the goal line, and on the run, MBT hits Mayala. He knows exactly where he is, so on the catch, he's crossed the plane.
Mayala, 3 catches in the game, 2 of them for touchdowns. And now looking to go up by 10. Boris Beatty. Low snap, settled down nicely by Julian. And smooth through the uprights. Edmonton on top. 18-8, McLeod Bethel-Thompson, 2nd strike of the afternoon to the newcomer, Hergy Mayala.
obviously, at that point, what's not to like?
You said it looks easy. You said it was easy when you did it. Why is that so easy for you?
Well, sometimes if you actually know what you're doing and you have really good players around you and you do your job, it can look quite easy. So, that was a nice drive. They scored, and that's what they needed to do.
And you had Hall of Fame quarterbacks throwing to you. I have to ask you about a couple of them. Tom Wilkinson, what was the difference catching a pass from him compared to one from Warren Moon?
Well, Tom's, you were limited as to how far you could go down the field because of his arm strength. But with Warren, the whole field, every yard of every was yours to explore. And I know oftentimes I'd run pass patterns, and the defensive back would think, well, who's going to throw the ball this far? Well, as it sailed over their head, it was me that was waiting for it. So, yeah, we had a guy that could do it, and that was Warren.
How nice is it to share this with your grandkids, Solo and Eden, here on the 75th?
It's the best. We live here. We live very close, next door to them, actually. And bringing them and showing them the history of the Edmonton football organization, it's just really important. They're going to live here for a long time, and that's what you do as a grandparent.
All right, Suits is in the booth. You wanted to say something to Glenn.
Oh, Glenn, I thought I saw you out here kind of going in circles because that was the last time we saw each other. I think you were looking for me, but I was about 30 yards behind you.
What a bird.
And I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, man.
Brian Kelly, guys.
Oh, now here's one. Down the field, intercepted. Just outside the 30, it's Kai Gray. He's going to bring it back to the 50 before he's taken down, and Commonwealth erupts.
I'll tell you what, when Kelly was, that never happened. He's right. He was behind me. What a play to keep with it. Take a look at the route. It's basic post route with inside leverage, but the ball a little bit behind the target, and
Kai Gray, 2 interceptions last year. Bratton and Kai Gray, who were those rookies in the secondary last year, now in their second season, both of them with a pick here this afternoon.
Come on.
Far side, turning around and hauling it in is Mayala.
So we're playing against Edmonton. Brian Kelly's the wide receiver. We had a corner go down, so I moved from safety to play corner. And I'm lined up against Brian Kelly, and it's cold. It's late in the year. He has his hands in his belly warmer, and he's standing on the line of scrimmage. And on the snap of the ball, he kind of looks like it's a running play. And as soon as I stop and look, he takes off. He was behind me by 6 yards for 70.
Gotcha.
To the end zone.
He had a touchdown. Johnny, our stats guy, laid it out for me. He had a touchdown every 5.9 catches, which is just an insane rate. Gino Lewis, not bad himself, hauls this one in for a first down. As the third quarter comes to a close, Edmonton is on top, 18-8. But they are looking for more with the fourth quarter looming, trying to flip the script on the opener between these two teams last year, which was won by the Riders. Of course, Corey Mace, Saskatchewan, will look to do the same in the fourth. It's Matt Dunnigan guy, 87 touchdowns, 26 rushing touchdowns with Edmonton.
Come on.
I got to put it up, man.
Come on.
76 interceptions.
Yeah, that's called not having a clue how to read a defense. That's what that is. I was trying to figure, look at my face mask, for Christ's sake. Look at that. I got elbow pads. I got Earl Campbell thigh pads going on. I had a neck roll at one point because I couldn't read a defense, and that's why I put this guy, on the map. He was an all-star for all those years because I kept feeding him the rock, and I was colorblind too. Yeah, it was a tough go early on trying to fill Warren Moon's shoes. So yeah.
How about this last couple of days, though, being part of this?
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been surreal, bittersweet too, because I was here on Monday for the memorial service and this celebration of life for Eric Upton, a close friend and ex-teammate of mine, and condolences again to Nancy, Katie, and Stevie, and the entire Upton family. But I was here for that on Monday, and then from there on, we gradually got our legs up underneath us as a team, as the players, and started enjoying each other's company as much as possible. And it's been really unreal. 75th coming together, all these greats. just to tell you right now, I was over at Dwayne Mandrusiak's house last night, and there's Ricky Ray, myself, Michael Riley and his family, 3 dogs, Matthew and Mackenzie Mandrusiak, their wives and families, and there was Trevor Bowles, there's Agni was there, it was Paul Hickey was there. It was like 16 adults, like 6 kids, 3 dogs, and football on TV. And we're in Dwayne's basement, which needs a show in of itself. It's like a museum. It was absolutely phenomenal experience, and that's what it's been like for the last 5 days here.
Yeah. Hey, Matty, I looked at that picture of all the quarterbacks, the former quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And
21 earned Grey Cups.
Yeah, and on the left of that picture was you, Damon Allen, Tracy Ham, all in the same quarterback room.
Yeah. Thanks to Ray Newman and Frank Morris back in the day, finding us and bringing us here and introducing us to this great game. And yeah, but those 6 right there, I think we had 21 Grey Cups between us, and that was our championships. And then you throw Wilkie in the mix, and that jumps up to 26. It's just insane. And to get together with those guys was phenomenal, just absolutely phenomenal. Carrying the torch here in Edmonton is second to none, and we enjoy doing it.
Boris Beatty in for a field goal attempt on 3rd and 8 for a little more cushion. And he pushes that one right through the uprights. 21-8 the lead. We talk about the Hall of Fame quarterbacks, and we just showed the picture of a lot of them, but just an absolutely ridiculous list to be a part of.
Yeah, and you take a lot of pride in that. And we're asked, Johnny Perlberg, one of our great stats, and Johnny Rustin, but Johnny asked me earlier in the week, Matty, you need your pick for a Grey Cup champion. I took the Elks this year, and I want to remind you, I took Montreal last year, and I took the Elks this year because I was here on Tuesday for practice, got to visit with all the players, spent a lot of time with the offensive line, and certainly Chris Jones and I have been sharing a lot of time together because he and I are staying at the same place at the Chateau. And, so I saw that football team with McLeod Bethel Thompson at the helm. You get a Javon Leake, a Boris Beatty, and leaving this football team.
So I'm going to put you to work now because after all those years playing against you, and not just in an Edmonton jersey, by the way, but the other jerseys.
Yeah.
But
I wasn't as fortunate as you were, Glenn, to stay in one team.
we finally get a chance to be teammates here at TSN. So I'm going to put you to work.
Okay.
What do you think about what you're seeing with both of these quarterbacks, but right now Trevor Harris?
Well, I was excited, and optimism should reign supreme, at the beginning of the football season. And both these teams come in with just tremendous hope and willingness to get back on track. And both these organizations were not on track last year, obviously. Harris is healthy. He's been working on his technique, a throwing technique, trying to change his motion, find some more little velo, which I think he can use. But we know that he's a brilliantly smart quarterback, and he can get it done. And with the healthy Trevor Harris, you've got an opportunity to win every week. And McLeod Bethel Thompson, to a man on this football team, he brings them confidence. And he allows the young Trey Ford an opportunity to grow at his pace. The get of Dakota Prucup behind the center and to run the short yardage frees up Trey just to learn the game. Get your eyes.
Harris to the end zone, and he's got Bain. Second of the game for Sean Bain. How about that throw from Trevor?
Exactly. What we're talking about is that arm strength.
Break it down.
He dotted him, and this is what I think you're going to see from Trevor Harris's ability to knife the ball in there. He's a little underthrown on that interception last series, but here he makes no mistake. He's extremely accurate, climbs the pocket, and finds Bain for a second. And, taking advantage of Edmonton's young defensive backfield, too. And, why not? Just go to work, a couple veterans making it happen and getting right back in this football game.
What a big response from the Riders, who'd allowed Edmonton to kind of take away the momentum of this football game, but they get it back, and they get it back quickly. Just 3 plays, 70 yards in 1 minute and 47 seconds. Matty, don't go anywhere. Stick around.
Yeah, whatever. I got to go see Warren and
you're
Ricky
staying.
and Mike and
You're
the
staying.
boys.
How many guys were you traded for?
Right.
Total.
A bunch.
But take a look at the routes here. One on that side and then crossing over with Bain.
Yeah, Mark Mueller getting after it with the design of the play, and then Trevor Harris executing and showing you what hard work does for you, pays off. All these type of drills that you're doing as a young quarterback and feet drills and keeping your eyes downfield. We'll take a look at what Trevor Harris does. He climbs the pocket and throws a dart, takes advantage of the young secondary and finds Bain for a second. And that's how it's done. Eyes downfield, maneuver in the pocket. Don't crumble. Don't turtle back there. Just make it happen. Be a quarterback, take the hit, and throw a dart. That's exactly what Trevor Harris does.
Amazing how many times when I'm talking to quarterbacks, including yourself, and
during the return, holding Edmonton number 33. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to be first down for Edmonton.
And we have all the salt shakers out, and we're running.
Oh, yeah. We've been there many times.
Running the X's and O's.
Yeah.
But how many times the quarterbacks will talk about their feet? You mentioned their feet. And that last touchdown throw, Trevor Harris negotiating the pocket.
Really nice.
Finding a little lane.
Standing tall.
Yep.
Yeah, just and poise, and that's confidence, knowing what he's looking, and and he knows that those offensive linemen are run those guys by him, and it's his job to step up there and stay tall on that turtle. And yeah, you saw it done perfectly right there.
They'll hand it off to Lee, and the ball pops out. The Riders hop on it, and a turnover just outside the 15 as the Riders defense comes up big. Jameer Thurman's got it. We'll get a look at how this ball popped out.
I think it was Deontay Williams coming from the corner who basically tackles the football. Thurman comes up with it. Watch 24 to the left of your screen. He puts the shoulder pad right on the ball, pops out, and yeah. Now, was there any part of the knee?
I'll say nope.
Elbow, nope. The ball was out before elbow or knee hit the ground.
Jameer Thurman. No, I mean, how about that play, right? Gosh almighty. Why not? So many good things about these organizations starting this football season.
The Riders, after striking, get the ball back, trailing by 6. Trevor Harris from the Edmonton 16 tosses it out. A.J. Ouellette takes it down inside the 15, and that'll set up second and about 8 or 9 yards.
Have y'all gotten used to watching 45 in the green and white?
It's getting there.
Yeah. It doesn't take you long.
I think it seems like it's going to be a great fit.
You know, he would have been a great fit back when you played Suits, and that mentality and that approach to the team. And I think, you know, he just wants to make football tough again. I'm all with it. I'm on board. I'm going to wagon that one.
Looks a little bit banged up here in the first game, but that's the style of play that he brings to the table. Crowd here trying to get behind this defense at Commonwealth. Harris, will he look to the end zone again? Finds a man at the 5. Tackle made just inside, but it'll be enough for a first down to Jarrett Stearns.
Yeah, first down, get the first down without scoring. So he's inside that 5-yard line on the crossing route. Trevor Harris knows he can get the new set of downs. Again, throwing around the rush. Stearns a little bit slow to get up.
Roderick Bynum with the tackle.
All the momentum here early in the fourth quarter has just been awesome. The Riders just dominating, just living in Edmonton's end zone or side of the field, and Corey Mace got to be loving
Major
this.
Foul, horse collar tackle. Edmonton number 16 will go up half a distance. It's going to be first down for Saskatchewan.
Here's another look at the penalty rate there.
Yeah, the right hand on the back of the collar, pulling him down backwards. Be half the distance.
That's not a typical one that you would see.
No, it's
usually
not.
from behind as a jersey and you're dragging somebody back, and that one was kind of going across the field.
Ball placed on the 1 is this time for A.J. Ouellette. Harris hands it off, trying to push ahead. Harris says he's in. The Riders waiting for the officials here. delayed call here.
Seriously, it's like, if they wait that long, he ain't gonna get it.
That's close.
Very tough to see. You have to see the ball. The
ruling on the field, a touchdown.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it is.
They have called it a touchdown. And an excellent
You can see it from there,
to not have his knees go down and just get enough of that ball across the goal line. And A.J. Ouellette has tied this game at 21.
And, of course, goes right over to the big guys. Nice job.
He knows where his bread's buttered. Is that the first for him as a Rider?
Yes, it is.
Yep. You gotta love that. Feels good, and I think you see it right there, how good it feels. How can you not love to have a teammate like that?
Well, I'm happy to have a teammate like you because you played like that.
Yeah, that gets you.
I've said that before, Dustin, and I'll say it one more time. I once held Matt Dunnigan to a 1-yard gain. We were on our own goal line, and he scored. And then we fought.
Lother
I didn't like you, Suits. I didn't like you. Just be straight up about it.
Matty, thanks for coming by, buddy. Good seeing you.
Thank you,
Dusty,
man.
great job on the banquet the other night.
Thanks.
Suits, love you, man. Heck of a week for you, man. 3 in a row. Good for you.
Don't go anywhere. 22-21. We got a thriller in Edmonton.
Complete switch in momentum here. And now on the Riders' side. Bain with the touchdown. Nice throw from Trevor Harris. Forced fumble there, picked up by Jameer Thurman. And a few plays later, A.J. Ouellette in the end zone. Riders have a 1-point lead with 8 minutes to go.
Still a long way to go in this ball game, too, isn't there? This should be a great finish here in the fourth quarter. Leak carries it out, eventually taken down just outside the 30. McLeod Bethel Thompson, 21-27, 242 yards and 2 touchdowns. Be nice to put together a drive, I'm sure, for Edmonton to try to steal back some of this momentum.
Well, it's crucial, and you know, at least to swap the field position, and you know, even put a bunch of first downs together, and it doesn't turn into points and slow that momentum switch.
They start on their own 32. Looks to the far side, back for a couple of yards, but no more. Nice tackle made by Lacombo on Curly Gittins.
Well, second and long, see what Corey Mace has drawn up. Are they going to go with pressure here and start to send linebackers, possibly Jameer Thurman? Not seeing much disguise from the Riders, and I'm not surprised because you're really not going to fool McLeod Bethel Thompson. Going to be patient with him at times.
2nd and 8, just 4 men again. They'll throw it over on the far side, and a heavy ball. Holy smokes.
Okay.
Roland Milligan lowering the boom. A flag on the field, though, and the Elks are saying it's against the Riders. Gittins Jr.
Player misconduct foul. Saskatchewan, number 38. It's a 10-yard penalty. Makes it a first down for Edmonton.
All right, so Jaden Dahlke taking the penalty there. Let's take another look.
Well, we'll take a look at the play. Roland Milligan, we'll try and find the penalty for you. It's the hitch screen to the outside. And a really nice tackle by Roland Milligan, who gets up and just squares up Gittins Jr., but try and find Dahlke and see what happened with him.
Milligan, they missed him last year. Holy smokes. He's been outstanding so far here today. Penalty leaves that Edmonton offense off the field. Moves them up to the 44, 1st and 10. Less than 7 minutes of play. Empty backfield. Try to set up a screen on the far side again. Spin move. will take it over the 50 as they go to Dylan Mitchell.
Well, apparently the penalty on Jaden Dahlke was taunting away from the play. So it must have been an official standing right beside 38. He was taunting one of the Edmonton Elks.
2nd and 3. Neville Thompson, far side, and that is complete. First catch of the game for Dominique Smith.
A lot of quick game here. Want to keep the Rider D-line off him. 2-step drop, getting rid of it. Second in manageable situations. And now the old penalty-aided drive. Because the Elks were off the field without that taunting penalty.
Yeah, it looked like the Riders had done the job. MBT under pressure and has to get rid of that one as he's thrown down to the turf. Malik Carney was in his face almost immediately. 2nd and 10.
This is a big one. Micah Johnson out for this snap, just rotation. It looks like a 3-man front.
From the Rider 47. 3 on the line for Saskatchewan. That's all they'll bring. MBT's going to take off, and he's wrapped up and taken down.
Well, he's trying to get to field goal range. And right now it would be a 47-yarder. With the type of defense that he was facing with 3 down linemen and the rest linebackers and DBs, chances of McLeod Bethel Thompson getting a first down here are low, but he knew he needed about 5 yards to get into makeable field goal range.
Jameer Thurman was there to stop him. Beatty called into duty. This will be a 48-yarder. Last season, the best of his career. Looking to give his new club the lead once again. 48 yards, pretty much straight down the middle for Boris Beatty. Gets it away, but pushes it wide right. Was that blocked? That was wild. It didn't even make it to the end zone. Now Mari Alford's going to bring it out the other way. Alford will get to the 15. Now the 20, and he finds a little bit of room on the sideline. Alford all the way out to the 45. What a swing here late in the 4th. That kick must have come off the side of his foot. It drops at the edge of the end zone. Riders on top, 22. 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in Edmonton. Clock ticking. Boris Beatty.
Yeah, he has plenty of leg. I mean, he's a long-range field goal kicker. I think he overswung there.
A.J. Olette will be stopped in the backfield.
You know when you're on the first tee and you want to just rip it out there and you got your driver and you just want to just crank it and it goes right in the lake? That's really what happens here. I mean,
right away he knew, yeah.
He knew immediately that he overswung. He just kind of tried to rip that. He's got plenty of leg.
By the way, it's not just the first tee for me. Okay. When you said first tee, I was like, what are you talking about first tee? I'll do that on the 16th thing. Thanks, though. 2nd and 12. Big first down here for the Riders if they can get it. Harris. Some pressure coming, gets it away. Down the field. Almost bobbled. And then it falls incomplete. Oh, that might have been enough for the Riders. Stearns couldn't haul it in, and he's been great today.
You can't throw it any better. Trevor Harris puts it right where he has to, and you know Cordell Jackson from the safety spot's trying to come over and just help, and if he catches it clean, that's a big first down and in field goal range, but bobbles it. Cordell Jackson sticks with it and doesn't allow Stearns to get a second chance at that football.
Borzak, far side. That one will bounce at the 22 and out of bounds. No return opportunity for Malik Flowers. And with just over 3 minutes left, how's this for the stage being set for you in your Edmonton debut for McLeod Bethel Thompson?
I think it was interesting what our quarterback, our Hall of Fame quarterback, mentioned about McLeod Bethel Thompson and how he's, immediately because of his resume, because of his experience, has steps in the locker room and gives the Edmonton Elks a reason to believe. So we'll see if he can execute it. 3 minutes to go.
They start this drive on their 17. Fake the handoff. Quick pass from MBT, and he's got a completion. As we move inside 3 minutes, he gets it to Curly Gittens Jr. Do not go anywhere. Excellent finish. Locked and loaded for us here at Commonwealth. Tune in at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on TSN. VA, high expectations for the BC Lions this season. Interesting and great opportunity for Dukes, the Argos quarterback position.
Let's keep it unreal.
That's what we got set up here. Unreal finish. MBT goes to Mitchell, able to hang on to it for a first down. 35. McLeod Bethel Thompson just knows where he's going with that football.
Well, he does, especially against his own. Take his chances at a Dylan Mitchell. Can't get in behind coverage because, I think if Corey Mason, the Rider defense, keeps dropping into those zones, McLeod Bethel Thompson will pick him apart.
Clock ticks inside 2.5. Edmonton works from their own 35. Right over the middle. Curly Gittens Jr. at midfield. Hauls it in. And just like that, Edmonton in business with 2:15 to play.
Coming from the left of your screen, the hole in this zone coverage is going to be right over the middle. McLeod Bethel Thompson, you get his view of it. Just clearing the linebackers, and Jameer Thurman drops it in there.
300-yard game in the books for McLeod Bethel Thompson.
Timer, please reset the clock to 2:18, and we're going to reset the 20-second clock. 2:18, reset the 20-second clock, please.
Ben Major calling all his shots today. Said there's been a lot of penalties, but I think it's been a well-officiated game. It's just question. Guys have taken penalties today.
No, yeah, absolutely. Penalties have been real penalties.
Edmonton works midway down the field. Pressure coming, got it away quickly, and got about 5.
Decides, yeah, it's time. We got to start sending pressure. We got to start going and putting our DBs in the one-on-one matchups and making sure that McLeod Bethel Thompson can't just pick apart these zones. Now, that's Milligan playing a little bit off.
Like he may be a little banged up, too.
Gittens has 8 catches in the game, 3 of them on this drive. MBT, empty backfield, 4-man pressure. He's going to be knocked down. Ball pops loose and the Riders are on it. Brian Cox scoops it up. And the Saskatchewan defense makes the difference.
Brian Cox is going to come from the wide side of the field, but it's just tenacious pressure. Initially, McLeod Bethel Thompson has a little bit of time to step up and go, but when he tries to climb in the pocket, Cox keeps with it, keeps coming around the horn, and finally gets there. That's just a straight effort play that turns into a strip, a fumble recovery, and the ball in the hands of the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
What a play by Brian Cox and the new head coach in DC. That's how he'd like to seal one of these up. Tackle made on Ouellette with 1:35 on the clock.
That's just effort. That's just second effort. His pass rush move to begin with up the field is the reason that MBT was flushed out. And then he just kept coming and stripped it from behind.
Flag at the end of this play.
We have a player misconduct foul, Edmonton number 90. It's a 15-yard penalty applied from the end of the play, makes it an automatic first down for Saskatchewan.
Kimdichi losing his cool a little bit. Moves the ball down to the 35.
Yeah, both these coaches are going to have to work on this going into week 2. Because that kind of stuff will get you beat.
First and 10 from the Edmonton 35. A.J. Ouellette right into the line for a couple of yards.
And both these teams have done it. I mean, that Kimdichi, he's over there watching now because of it, but
Dalkey had a taunting penalty.
Jaden Dalkey after the fact with a taunting penalty that may not cost the Roughriders with the position they're in now. A 1-point lead and field goal range, make it a 4-point game would be even if there's any time left.
Second and 8 for Harris. He's going to throw and he's going to look down the field. Oh my goodness, what a finish! He goes to Sean Bain for the hat-trick. 3 touchdowns the day before his birthday. What a start to the season for Sean Bain, and what a way for the Riders to go up by 7.
Sometimes it's a route, sometimes it's a great throw, and occasionally it's a busted coverage. And I would say it's column 3 on this play, because Sean Bain wide open for his 3rd TD of the afternoon.
Trevor Harris, 305 yards, 3 touchdowns. Lother. And the lead is 8. 65 seconds on the clock for Edmonton.
Go back and take a look at this. I'll show you what I mean. Kai Gray is in coverage. It's a blitz from the Elks. So they're in man-to-man. There's Kai Gray. That's Sean Bain. And when this receiver inside goes that way, it just looks like Kai Gray gets locked in and thinking that they may have switched the halfback in the corner. But the only way you switch is if the 2 receivers switch positions like that. That's not the route. Bain just goes straight down the field, catches Kai Gray staring in the backfield, and Riders are playing the fight song.
Riders fans in attendance are loving it. Still over a minute to work with here for Edmonton. Touchdown and 2 would tie it.
Yeah, still 1 possession.
A lot of time still left in this game.
Still 1 possession.
This is taken at the 5 by Leak. And he's taken down just shy of the 30. We said he's got 3. Let's take a look at him.
Well, he's right in that sweet spot in his CFL career, year 4, couple of teams, this 2nd year with the Riders, and he starts the 24 campaign with not 1, not 2. How about the hat trick with our Canadian hockey team getting ready to play later tonight?
Evelyn's had a 3-touchdown game last year, and now Bain has got one this year. Come underneath. And Mitchell with the catch. 53 seconds on the clock. Edmonton has to move quickly.
Need about a 20-30 yarder though.
Somewhere along the way, right?
In this next group of plays, maybe 6-7 plays.
And they got a few guys who can do that. Gino Lewis among others. We'll come back to Gittins. He's taken down at the 40. His 9th catch of the ball game. Nice debut for him. Gets the first down.
Riders, of course, will play off sort of an umbrella look so that guys like Eugene Lewis can't just get in behind him easily.
Thompson throws that one away midfield. Taken away, C.J. Avery. And they will say interception, and the defense comes up again big for the Riders.
together before, and I believe it was Curly Gittins, but this time they're just not on the same page. McLeod Bethel-Thompson thinks, and that ball may have been
wobbling.
tipped. Yeah, it may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, but it looked like he wanted Curly Gittins to sit down in that zone. And that quick game they've been running most of this second half, and he just kind of kept running through it. But the ball, I think the ball got tipped. Anthony Lanier did get his hands on it.
Yeah, because that would have come in a little bit quicker to Gittins if not for the deflection. Riders take back over A.J. Ouellette. Pushes it ahead down to the 50 as fans here in Edmonton head towards the gate. What a fourth quarter for the Riders, outscoring Edmonton 21-3. Sometimes it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Timeout called by Edmonton.
The sequence with the second touchdown to Bain, then the turnover deep in Edmonton territory, another quick score
for Ouellette.
Yeah, and the Elks just couldn't recover from there.
Yep.
McLeod Bethel-Thompson, 318 yards, 31 of 39.
You guys ready?
2 touchdowns.
Here we go.
And an interception. Harris, a couple of interceptions as well. They've been treated to a heck of a football game here.
Yeah, and great to see all the Edmonton alumni, Warren Moon and Brian Kelly.
2nd and 3, back to Ouellette. Broke a tackle, lunges ahead. Ball pops out. Oh my goodness, Bratton's got it. What's happening?
Wait a minute.
21 seconds on the clock. Did that just occur?
And I think the ball is out.
Wow.
A.J. Ouellette tried a spin move to just beat this tackle. You'll see him take it on the outside here, and then the spin move, hand down, so he's not down by contact, and he just drops the handle. He just loses the handle, drops the ball.
Huh. How about that? Edmonton gets the ball back, 21 seconds on the clock on their own 51. MBT quickly midfield, trying to get it to the outside. Not going to happen. 16 seconds remaining in the game. That was Mayala on the play. What do you got, Suits? Two plays here?
You got to take a shot here.
2nd and 6 at midfield. Edmonton trying to pull off a miracle. They'll go to the far side. First down to the 41. Complete to Malik Flowers. 6 seconds left. Edmonton, one shot at the end zone.
That play, intermediate route, gives McLeod Bethel-Thompson a chance to throw it to, inside the 10, inside the 5. Eugene Lewis down at the bottom.
Clock ticks, inside 6. MBT backpedals, steps up into the pocket, throws it down towards the end zone! Incomplete! Looking for Flowers, but the Riders are there to seal away the victory, and what a victory it was! Corey Mace! Heart probably stopped for a couple of seconds, but he's got his first CFL head coaching victory.
Well, he had to take a shot. Time was running out, stepped up nicely. In fact, that gives you a chance as a quarterback. Now I can throw it basically to the end zone. Double coverage over there, throwing into the strength of the defense, so with Milligan. And the only thing I'm a little bit surprised in is if they're going to take a shot like that, Eugene Lewis was on the other side of the field.
Probably the guy that you would look to. MBT told us earlier this week the catch radius on Gino Lewis is ridiculous. Now, if you're going to throw it into double coverage like that, it would take a miracle to pull it down, but...
Oh, a little quickness on the Gatorade shower for new head coach, but wait a minute.
The leftover.
That was a decoy, and Lanier got him. Congratulations to Corey Mace.
What a game. Much more entertaining game than the one between these two teams here last year to start the season, and I think both teams are headed in a pretty good direction here, Glenn, actually.
Well, both look good at times, and like you say, right down to the wire, down to one play. I'll take it.
If you're Edmonton, where do you go quickly from here?
Well, both teams have to do some cleaning up. A lot of those after-the-fact penalties, things like that, but over 300 yards passing for McLeod Bethel Thompson. That's where you build from.
And over 300 yards passing for Trevor Harris. 3 touchdowns, not one of them, not 2 of them, but all 3 of them to Sean Bain Jr. And the Riders completely dominate the 4th quarter of this football game and pick up a road victory to start the season. What a game. Thank you for joining us from Commonwealth.